There are so many takeaways, but I would list the top three as reversing some of the conventional wisdom surrounding elections. The first thing, isn't it strange that the loss of Ramvilas Paswan in the election, literally in the middle of the election, should have made so little difference to the electoral outcome and the fortunes of the Lok Janshakti Party, which he helmed for so many years and which he sort of led in all possible political combinations. He steered the LJP through so much difficulty, and yet during the election this time, Ramvilas Paswan has not really been given his due. So the conventional wisdom has always been that if a person dies, then his legacy is celebrated in the election. That has not happened in this case. Number two, I think the biggest takeaway is that the Congress is suffering setbacks, but this could be a wake-up call for it to revive its party structure, and we have to see how it will do so in Bihar, where it used to be a very strong force at one time. The third biggest takeaway is, well, development is a central issue in this election. True, the Mandir and the whole Pakistan thing and the infiltration in Pulwama and so on, national security, were themes which were flagged only by the Prime Minister. But the central theme was development. Has there been enough of it in Bihar? Or does it need more? Who is responsible if it has not happened? Who is responsible if it has happened? So from that point of view, caste and other issues have taken a kind of a backseat. And for years to come, this Bihar election will be discussed for that reason. Sometime later this week, the BJP will have consultations with the JDU, and a date and time for the swearing in of the new government will be announced. After that, we will know what the agenda of the new government is going to be. But even as we speak right now, talks must be on about what the new priorities of the new government are going to be. And I think correcting law and order, issues of development, issues of infrastructure are going to be the biggest and central points. Apart from the promise that has already been made of giving 9 lakh jobs to people, half of which will come from the government. So how will the government create these jobs? How will they be funded? All these are questions that are likely to be discussed in the coming days. Nitish Kumar is not a newbie to government. He knows how to run governments, he knows how to run the administration. He's done it for 15 years and more, and in the center as well as in the state. So running a new government now is not going to be a challenge to him. The challenge actually comes paradoxically from meeting higher expectations, and if anything, the challenge comes for Nitish Kumar from Nitish Kumar. So running the government, putting in place, implementing new ideas, fulfilling a gap that voters have felt, which is why they voted less for JDU. These are all things which you will have to address. The second biggest challenge is going to come from the opposition. You have a very strong, reinvigorated opposition, and you have a very weak Nitish Kumar, in the sense of being weakened because of the suboptimal performance of his own party. So he will have to face pressure from the BJP to take its agenda forward in Bihar. Issues like new citizenship laws, which are going to take the citizenship register, which is going to be rolled out. Issues relating to practice of religion. In 2013, Nitish Kumar had given a big challenge to the BJP in terms of expanding its agenda. This time, what is going to happen? This is going to be the big challenge. And the third biggest challenge is going to be existence of people in Bihar. Issues of law and order, because this is slipping now. People have flagged the problem of prohibition and how it was not rolled out properly. Frankly, the government has got nothing out of it. It has had to face administrative slippages and charges that of corruption between the local administration and liquor suppliers, and at the same time, it has faced a loss of revenue. So, law and order is going to be the third biggest challenge for Nitish Kumar. In politics, the alliance partners usually try and extract as much as they can out of the government, particularly in this case where the BJP is the stronger ally, meaning it has more numbers and it has a good working relationship with the Chief Minister, which is going to be Nitish Kumar. So what would it want to extract from the government, and what is it that Nitish Kumar will be reluctant to grant it? I think the biggest issue is taking forward the BJP agenda in a variety of ways, and frankly the BJP itself will have to come up with some interesting ideas so that these can be rolled out in an interesting way. This goes, of course, beyond issues of infrastructure development. It goes beyond the Bijli Sadak Pani issues, but issues of the mind, of ideology. And it's hard to say at this point what the BJP will want, which Nitish Kumar isn't already doing. But certainly, we saw the pushback from Nitish Kumar in 2013, the kind of obstructions he put in the BJP's way when the BJP was trying to raise issues of allowing children to sing Vande Mataram in government schools and so on. What are the things that they will want to do this time, and how Nitish Kumar will react? That remains to be seen. RJD and Tejashwi Yadav will be very tempted to blame the Congress for not being able to form the government. In a way, they are not wrong. If the Congress had performed a little better, you would have seen the NDA being defeated, even if by a small margin of seats. The left has done well, so it is the Congress which has dragged the anti-NDA forces down. We can discuss why the Congress has done so badly, given the fact that it's the PCC chief Ashok Chaudhary defected from the Congress to the BJP barely months before the assembly election, and the Congress's neglect of the structure of the party in Bihar over a period of time. While intellectual inputs to Tejashwi were given by the Congress, and it will argue that if it had not been for those intellectual inputs, the Tejashwi Yadav Congress combined would not have got as many seats as it's got. There's no doubt that the strike rate of the Congress has been very bad in this election, and when the CWC takes place and when the AICC takes place possibly later in the first half of next year, we will see discussion on this. But meanwhile, for the time being at least, the relations between the Congress and the RJD are not exactly going to be very friendly till the cloud cast by the defeat fades away.
If you like this video, share it and subscribe to Business Standard. For more news, views and insights, log on to www.business-standard.com. Do also follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Telegram and LinkedIn.